And we say good morning to you. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. Beautiful fall day here in the hills of East Tennessee. A little cool, making those leaves turn. And the rain early in the week is going to make them fall off. So we got warmer temperatures coming. So I don't know if this is Indian summer or not. I don't guess it is because we're into the fall time. But it sure is nice. 60s and 70s for your highs and 30s and 40s for your lows. So looking good here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Show number 616 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're going to be joined a little bit later on by a brand new guest, Ivan Sanders, the sports writer for the Elizabethton Star, is going to join us coming up. We're looking forward to hanging out with him and getting a new perspective, another new guest here on the show. We're excited about that. Our regular buddy, I almost said Greg Maddox for the Cubs and the Braves. Greg Salyer, the Major League Baseball update, will come by and join us, give us an update on the two championship series between the Cubs and the Dodgers and the Astros and the Yankees. Boy, what a job the Yankees are doing. Goodness gracious. They are, defying all the odds. We'll let Greg tell about that coming up a little bit later on. We're also going to be joined by Dr. Barry Walton from Mike's Medicine Mart. We'll be there Friday with the 29th anniversary celebration, broadcasting live there. Tomorrow, Champion Chevrolet. Gosh, next week we're going to be at Freddy's. We're going to be at Freddy's on Monday, Bracken Paving on Tuesday, Chick-fil-A next Wednesday. Next Thursday we'll be at Champion. Next Friday we'll be at Food City on Eastman Road for the Midnight Madness sale. So we're booked up for the next couple of weeks. We love that. Looks like we're going to bring on a couple of new sponsors. Had a good time yesterday. We were live, of course, at Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek, right across from Cracker Barrel with our buddy Jeremy Livesey at JamieLivesey.com. So appreciate him very much. Also, our other great sponsor, our buddy, the Gator Man at Cherokee Barbershop on South Rome Street, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm in the Executive Park South building. When the barber pulls out, the Gator Man's in. He's there today, cutting hair, making folks look purty, as they say. He even cuts little guys' hair, puts a little booster seat across the armchairs, and he'll go at it. Trimming little guys here, too. It's a men's barbershop in South Johnson City. All kinds of memorabilia, all kinds of East Tennessee State and Milligan things on the wall. Cool place to go. And so the Gator Man is open. We were there, a couple of weeks ago, broadcasting live. So we'll be back over there in the month of November as well. It's hard to believe we are 67 days away from Christmas. Whew. 67 days till Christmas. Goodness gracious. Or 67 days. I guess you have in the shop till Christmas. 67 days till Christmas. There you go. Connie looks at me like, shut up. So anyway, we're broadcasting live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We're going to take our first break, come right back, and we're going to jump in and talk a little state volleyball tournament, regional soccer action. Bring you up to speed what's going on in high school football. All that coming up next here in our first segment. Again, a little bit later on the bottom of the hour, Ivan Sanders joins us. Brand new guest. Looking forward to that. And that will be, he'll be coming over from the Elizabethton Star. So, again, 616th show. 67 days till Christmas. We'll be right back at Chick-fil-A. We're going to tell you about the Hash Brown Scramble, something new for breakfast here at Chick-fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
Truck Month continues at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City with unbelievable savings on a selection of over 500 new Chevys to choose from. 17 Silverado Crew Cab All-Star, $11,000 off MSRP. 18 Equinox, $6,000 off MSRP. 18 Trax, $4,500 off MSRP. 23% off 17 Cruise and Malibu. 25% off 17 Sonic and Spark LS. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live at Chick-Fil-A on this Wednesday. The Crossings in North Johnson City, the home of Connie and Tim and all the kids here getting after it for lunchtime right around the corner. We're going to tell you about the Hash Brown Scramble Bowl coming up in a moment, but let's take a look at state volleyball tournament from yesterday. We had 3 teams in. 2 are still going. 1 got sent home, unfortunately. The Tennessee High Lady Vikings losing to Siegel in the double elimination in the first game, and then losing to Ravenwood in the second. Can't knock them for getting to the state tournament. Great job again with the Lady Viking volleyball team. They've been eliminated in the state tournament. In Double A, East Hamilton came out of the gate and defeated Sullivan South, but then the Lady Rebels came back later on and defeated Jackson South. So they're coming out of the losers bracket. They're taking on Camden High School as we speak this morning, again in Murfreesboro. So good luck to Wendy Ratliff and the Lady Rebels trying to nail down a state championship, yet another one again in volleyball, and bring it back into Northeast Tennessee. And single A volleyball, you had yesterday South Green. Again, the Lady Rebels, they're also the Lady Rebels. South Green defeated Watertown in the first one. Came back and defeated Loretto, 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 I guess it'll be Loretto, in game 2. So they're still alive in the winners bracket. They're playing Knox Catholic today. So good luck to the Lady Rebels again as they battle in the single A, as they continue to. That's not right. Knox Catholic's in the double A. There's a typo here. But anyway, South Green, the Lady Rebels are in. They're in the winners bracket still playing in the state volleyball tournament in Murfreesboro. In soccer, the Region 1 AAA tournament semifinals. Yesterday we had Coach Strickland on from Science Hill. They blanked Knox West last night 2-0. Bearden shuts out Dobbins Minute 6-0. So Dobbins Minute and Knox West are eliminated from postseason play. Tomorrow night, it will be for the regional championship. Science Hill hosting the Bearden Lady Bulldogs here in Johnson City. And the AA semifinals, Green will beat Pigeon Forge 10-0. Seymour eliminates Solomon Central's Lady Cougars 4-1. So tomorrow night, Seymour will be in Greenville for the Region 1 AA Soccer Regional Championship. And then in Single A, Chucky Doak defeated Cosby 5-1. And Alcoa eliminates University High's Junior Bucks 9-0. So you have tomorrow the Region 1 Single A final. The Chucky Doak Black Knights, or Lady Black Knights, taking on Alcoa. So good luck to, again, Science Hill in the AAA, Greenville in the AA, and Chucky Doak in the Single A regional championships in soccer tomorrow night at their respective schools. So cross country, Big 11 Conference Cross Country Championship tomorrow at Still Creek Park in Bristol. I would think tomorrow will be a beautiful day to be running through the woods, even though the leaves aren't that colorful because of all the dry weather we had in August and September, but still, leaves are leaves here in East Tennessee. They're still pretty, no matter how, not as vibrant as usual, but pretty is still pretty when you're here in East Tennessee. I think it's the greatest place in the world to live here in Appalachia, whether it's in West Virginia or Kentucky or Tennessee. I think for my money, best place to live is right here in the hills of Appalachia. That's just me. High school football coming up tomorrow night. One game, old backyard slobber knocker between Unaka and Hampton. That'll be going on at Hampton High School tomorrow night. Then on Friday, here's your games. Probably the biggest game. We're going to talk to him tomorrow. Sean Whitten, the head coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones, again hosting the Sullivan South Rebels. By the way, you can go on the TomTaylorSports.com website, or you can go to the Facebook page, and you can check out the latest edition. We put it up last night. It's got a lot of play already. Like it and share it. We thank you for that, including highlights of the big win, or actually the Union County big win. We had one highlight there talking about the tough loss to Greenville, but getting ready for the Solomon South preview. That's the Sean Whitten Coaches Show. And you, again, can check it out. I think it's like 15, 16, maybe 17 minutes long, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. But anyway, like it and share it, please. The Sean Whitten Coaches Show. They're hosting Sullivan South on Friday night. Then you have Megan's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. One of the nicest ladies in the world. We have the the magic bucket you can win here. Cherokee. She's a funny lady. Cherokee at Tennessee High Friday night at the Stone Castle. Claiborne at Cumberland Gap. Cloudland plays at Johnson County. Conk County will be at Morristown East. The Musket Bowl. Need we say more? Crockett at Daniel Boone and Gray on Friday night. That plays all the drama and everything been going on around the Crockett football program, plus the fact that Boone and Crockett are in the hunt for a playoff spot. They'll be hanging off the rafters, if you will, Friday night at Daniel Boone. I'd say Danny Good's popping popcorn now, getting ready. Granger will be at Greenville Friday night. Happy Valley at West Green. You have Hardin Valley at Beard in the Battle of the Bulldogs. Also Friday night, Science Hill hosting Jeff County. Jellicoe at Cosby. Morristown West will be in Kingsport, the Battle of Graham Clark and the Dobbsman Indians. Sullivan Central goes to Union County. Sullivan North plays in the Patriot Pasture at Sullivan East. Twin Springs will cross the state line and take on North Green. And open dates this week, Chucky Doak, South Green, Unicoi County, Volunteer, and Farragut all have the night off. And Southwest Virginia Friday night, Abington, the Falcons at Ridgeview, Castlewood at J.I. Burton, the Chilhowie Warriors hosting Eastside, Gate City at John Battle, Lehigh at Wise Central, and the Rye Cove War Eagles playing host to Twin Valley on Friday night. And Union and Thomas Walker will have the night off. And that's a look at high school football and volleyball and soccer here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show as we work our way through this Wednesday. Coming up again, Ivan Sanders will join us, sports writer from the Elizabethton Star. One note out of college football on the local scene. Teddy Gaines no longer coaching on the East Tennessee State football staff. He was arrested and charged with domestic assault by Kingsport police after an altercation with his wife on October the 5th. Had been with the team since the program restarted in 2013. University announcing his one-sentence resignation. ETSU head coach Carl Torbush announcing he has received and accepted a letter of resignation from former assistant football coach Teddy Gaines. Gaines, a Kingsport native who played at Tennessee and briefly in the National Football League, came to East Tennessee State from Tusculum College. He's also coached at Maryville College in Brevard. He was the safeties coach at East Tennessee State. Teddy Gaines no longer on the coaching staff at East Tennessee State University. And that's a look at what's going on in the world of high school sports here again on this Wednesday, October the 18th, 2017. Coming up on Friday, we're going to be live at Mike's Medicine Mart. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's their big anniversary, 29th anniversary celebration. Dr. Walton's going to check in with us a little bit later on the show and kind of preview and tease us what's going to be happening there on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so it'll be as we said, the chance to celebrate 29 years, I believe it's 28 or 29 years. I guess it's 28 years. 28 or 29 now, I can't remember. That's a brain burp. Sorry about that. But one of those two, what we're celebrating, matters not. They're going to have all kinds of specials and giveaways, and we're going to be talking to him about that a little bit later on here in the show. But it's going to be a lot of fun coming up on Friday, and we'll be live at Mike's Medicine Mart on Center Street in Kingsport on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Now, pick and panel. You have until tomorrow night to try and dethrone for the second consecutive week, I might add. You have, check this out, here's your winners so far this season. Eugene Jeffers out of Greenville, Tracy Clark out of Kingsport, Brenda Byram out of Elizabethton, Tony Briggs out of Elizabethton, Jerry McNeil out of Elizabethton, and Raymond Tackersley. 2 weeks in a row he's won it from Kingsport, Tennessee. Here's the picks for this week. You have until tomorrow night to go to right there, TomTaylorSports.com/football. Joel Ragsdale played last week, almost won the thing. He was a brand new player. We appreciate that. So all you have to do to try and win $25 is very simple. Go to TomTaylorSports.com, as you see on the screen, /football. And here are the games this week. South, again, we're not looking for points. We just want to know who's going to win it. Again, your first name, your last name, your town you're from, your email address. That's it. We'll take care of the rest. High school picks. South at Elizabethton. The Musket Bowl, Crockett at Boone. Cherokee at Tennessee High. Sullivan North at Sullivan East. And Cloudland at Johnson County. That's your 5 high school games you're picking. In the college class, you got some good ones. Michigan at Penn State. Ooh, that's going to be a slobber knocker. Southern Cal at Notre Dame on Saturday. Oklahoma State, the Cowboys will be in Texas to battle the Longhorns. Kentucky, a surprise. They are currently second in the Southeastern Conference, the Eastern Conference, or Eastern Division, or East Conference of the Southeastern Conference, rather. Kentucky at Mississippi State. The Bulldogs trying to get it together. They're 1-2. Kentucky in the conference at 2-1. The Wildcats are 5-1 overall. Mississippi State at 4-2. Pretty good matchup in Starkville. You'll pick that winner. And also Louisville at Florida State. More problems for Rick Pitino and the Louisville men's basketball team. We're going to tell you about coming up here in just a second. But that's the picking panel. All you got to do again is go to TomTaylorSports.com/football. And again, take you what? 20 seconds, maybe a minute to go boop, 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 pick the ones you think and sit back and see if you can win $25. Again, courtesy of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Our guest is a brand newbie. He's a newbie. He's a goodie, too. We're looking forward to talking to this young man. He joins us coming up next. He will be our buddy, Ivan Sanders, sports writer from the Elizabethan Star. He joins us next year. Again, from Chick-Fil-A, show number 616 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-Fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-Fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns. Scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look right there on the camera. There he is, handsome rascal that he is. Ivan Sanders, a sports writer at the Elizabethan Star. First-time guest, and we're tickled to bring him on board, and hopefully he's a regular contributor We cross paths just about every Friday night when we are on the sideline with the Cyclone football team. They got a big one tomorrow night. And first off, welcome aboard. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks, Tom. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Oh, yeah. We're just a couple old country boys talking sports. So, Gate City Blue Devils, as a matter of fact, they are having a tough year.
They're definitely having a tough year, Tom. It's tough to see as an old Blue Devil, see your alma mater suffering like they are. But, Gate City, they're resilient. They'll get it put back together, get back on track. Those big Blue fans over there, they love their team and always supportive.
One of the toughest places to go call a football game and play a football game at Legion Field. They're honking that horn and ringing the cowbells. And so, yeah, they love their Blue Devils. And, it just proves right there at Gate City, case in point, sports is a game of cycles. You can't win them all. You can't be on top all the time. You can't be on the bottom all the time because they have, for many, many years, been on top with the late Harry Fry and Nick Collabro and right on through with Bill Housewright. So, right now, their record, have they won a game yet?
I don't think they've won the game this year, Tom.
Yeah, I think they're an over, so that's unusual in Gate City. But anyway, he's a Gate City Blue Devil. Our game Friday night, we just got done shooting the Sean Witten Coaches Show. You can go on the Facebook page and check it out. Please like it and share it. And the key word is share. A lot of folks already have things kind of taken off and got some tentacles of its own. We talked to Coach Witten yesterday and also had the highlights of the Greenville game and previewed Sullivan South. You've been following them all year. Tomorrow night, there's a lot at stake between, or I should say Friday night, there's a lot at stake between this game between South and Elizabethton.
Absolutely, Tom. I mean, Elizabethton proved to not only themselves but to everybody that they're capable of playing with the number one team in the state. But you absolutely, for sure, don't want to fall asleep against a very good Sullivan South team that if you lose that game, then you're going to be on the road pretty much the whole entire playoffs unless you get a break somewhere along the way.
How it is, the old systems kick back in, which is now the new system, if you will, the TSSAA. They take the top 4 teams. Top 2 will be at home. The bottom 3 and 4, the bottom 2 seeds will be traveling. And so, you look at Sullivan South coming to town. They got a lot at stake. Justin Hilton's turned that ball club around. Elizabeth has got to come off of you don't want to be a downer or come off of a down after losing and playing so hard against the number 1 team in the state. So it's senior night. I would think Sean will have those kids ready to go.
Absolutely. Coach Witten has done such a fantastic job with the Cyclones since he took over the program, and that's one thing that he always preaches is, you cannot look past the next game because if you do, that's when you're going to be in trouble. So he'll have his team ready. The seniors will be ready to go out to prove themselves in their last regular home season game of the year. And I look for Elizabethton to bounce back and be solid, but South is not just going to bow down. It's going to be a battle for all 4 quarters.
It will be the 34th meeting between the two. Elizabethton leads the series 17-16, so it's been pretty tightly played, obviously, down through the years. And so that'll be coming up on Friday night. That'll be senior night. Of course, that's always a lot of teams playing their final home game on Friday night. Not all, but a lot, being week number 9. So anytime you're playing that last game as a senior in front of mama and daddy and grandma and granddad, your cheerleader, your girlfriends, and whoever you're playing in front of, it's one of those games you don't want to walk off the field as a loser.
You absolutely don't, but it's an emotional time because these kids will look back over the 4 years they've spent in the program, and there's a lot of highlights for them over their career. And this kid is a group of winners. They've known winning ever since they've been freshmen or even 8th graders, as far as that goes. And they're a group of winners, and they want to go out on top, and they always want to make the Elizabethton community very proud of their effort. And I'm sure it'll be no less Friday night when they take on South.
You see on the screen Ivan Sanders, sports writer for the Elizabethton Star. Football on Friday night in Elizabeth is pretty special. I mean, it's almost like I told Sean, it's like the Norman Rockwell painting. It's a slice of Americana. You got, of course, the band and the cheerleaders and the fan base. And you say, well, Tom, all schools have that, and they do. There's just something different. I don't know what it is. Can't put my finger on it. I've been standing on the sideline now for 2 years, but there's something different about a football game on Friday night in Elizabethton.
Yeah, the community is so used to having a winning program, and it's kind of like Gate City, what I was talking about. Elizabethton, to me, mirrors Gate City in a lot of ways, and you got the band there that's won, 3 or 4 state titles. So it's not just only the football that the fans in the community come out to see, it's the band, because these guys are spectacular. If everybody's not had a chance to see them, and you watch them the first time, you're just going to be amazed. But there is a different environment, different attitude. people love their Cyclones. They love everything going on, and you have that the new stadium there, and that's bringing out a lot of interest. It's a really nice place to take in a football game.
Absolutely, no question. Their volleyball team had a great run, got into the sectionals for Leslie Bradley, so they had a good run. So, of course, now we're shifting into the winter sports now with the exception of football. You've got basketball right around the corner for all the teams. And, in fact, tomorrow we'll be at Champion Chevrolet, and Shannon from Hardy's going to be there previewing and promoting. Hard to believe we're talking about it. It's like the other day we're talking about the spring race at Bristol. We're going to be talking about the Hardy's Classic tomorrow, the basketball tournament over Thanksgiving at Crockett High School. Should be one of our guests tomorrow. I haven't talked about a winning program. You look down in Knoxville, let's switch gears to college football. You've got a football program that's not winning right now, obviously. A lot of folks upset. A lot of folks want Butch Jones out. What's your take on the scenario and the situation in Knoxville with Tennessee football?
At the beginning of the season, Tom, I was really still very supportive of Coach Jones and what he was trying to do there. But, sometimes you just have to step back and look at things, and the more I look at it, the more I see that the program is just doesn't seem like it's going to get turned around. There's too many opportunities that are going by the wayside. And last week, to me, was as critical a game as they were for him, because he really needed to beat South Carolina to really at least give him a shot of finishing the season. And with that loss, I think that pretty much put the final nail in his coffin. And I hate to see it, but on the flip side of things, you hear so many fans complaining about the coaching and wanting somebody different. But as you step back and you start to take a look at what's available out there, you begin to scratch your head and say, well, where do we go if we get rid of Butch Jones? Who do we turn to get this program turned around? And I think that I saw something the other day that Eric Ainge said that really made a lot of sense to me. He says, when you come to Tennessee, he says you have to be bought in to Tennessee. You have to be fully just buy into the area and everything. And he said that's one thing that he senses that Butch has not been able to do is really just buy in. When he talks, he more or less talks to the recruits versus then the fan base. Tennessee fans want to win. They want to win. And I know that Butch is a very good recruiter, and he's done a great job of that, but it doesn't matter if you have the number one class in America. If you don't know how to pull that all together, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever.
Well, all your points are very, very valid. And you add to the fact that you're going to Alabama and then you go to Kentucky back-to-back on the road now. And so the spread is the largest spread against the Tennessee team in these many years, a 34.5-point underdog heading into Tuscaloosa. If Saban covers the spread, and I don't see why he won't, is this football team, you can say, well, they may rise up to their competition. We're talking the machine in Tuscaloosa, the Crimson Tide. So if he gets beat back down like a Georgia game, or even, South Carolina was a 6-point differential, but the way they lost was very, very demoralizing. So you get rid of Butch Jones and move him out. There's talk about putting Brady Hoke, who's on the staff as an interim coach. But the biggest thing about all this, and you nailed it at the outset of what you said, the recruiting. They've had 2 more recruits decommit last week. So if you don't make a step, to me, you're looking at now, from here on out, it's the future of Tennessee football. Mm-hmm. So, all right, this season, I wouldn't say it's in the tank, but it's not going to look like everybody wanted it to. So at this point, if I'm Curry, the new athletic director, what do I got to do to save, not this year, but a couple of more years on down the road, and keep these recruits from decommitting? And I guess the way you do that is to make a change, because let's face it, if I'm recruiting you, you're Ivan Sanders, you're a hot rod football player out of Gate City, and I'm chasing you, and you're looking down in Knoxville, and you have verbally committed to play for the Big Orange, all of a sudden there's all this uncertainty. All these other SEC schools are going to do what they should and come up and say, Ivan, you don't want to go down to Tennessee. We don't know who's going to be the coach. What happens if they recruit you to run the ball, and the new coach is a throwing coach, offensive philosophy, so you're going to be sitting on the sideline. So for all those reasons, and it's valid, most guys are going to take a step back and go, whoa, wait a minute, because these other schools are still beating their door down, whether it's an SEC or ACC school. So for me, I think you make the change. You fish cut bait. You offer him his buyout's $9.5 million over so many years. You offer him a one lump sum, let him ride off into the sunset, let Hope get on there, and then let everybody in the country know we are actively looking for, as you said, the right coach, and save the recruits. I think you nailed that early on. The recruits are the key to this thing, not now but in the future. And at this point, I think that's what you're playing for, is the future.
That's absolutely correct, Tom. And I told someone earlier that if they were going to make a coaching change, the bye week would have been a good opportunity to do so, because even if they went to one of the coaches they have on staff and made an interim, then at least he could have had them prepare for South Carolina, which they could have possibly won. Alabama, to me, you might as well put them on an NFL schedule, because the Crimson Tide, they're just a phenomenal football team, and there's not a whole lot of teams in the country right now that can stand toe-to-toe with them. So 30 points to me is a mild spread. I'm venturing to say I wouldn't be surprised if they don't hang 70 points or better on Tennessee. The state of Tennessee football is in right now. But, we talked about the recruits and so forth, but the other side, the flip side of things too for Curry is if he doesn't make some sort of a decision soon, his fan base is going to start falling off. And when your fan base falls off, your monies fall off, and then everything that you're trying to accomplish in your program starts to suffer because of that. And I think that we're going to see Curry's going to have to really make a tough decision, pull the gun. $9 million, a lot of money, but it's going to cost Tennessee a whole lot more if they don't make a change.
Well, and the other thing for Curry, he's the new kid on the block himself. So he's the new AD. He's got problems with the Lady Ball program, obviously. Holly Warlick, I think, is a big year for her. He's already made a change in the baseball coach. And so now everybody's, crowing about doing something to Butch. So for his personal resume, he's got to come in from Kansas State. He's got to show he's the leader and take control of the program, which I think he's trying to do or is doing. But having said that, he's got to make a show for himself, too, for his resume that, hey, you hired the right guy to be the athletic director. I'm going to take the steps necessary to make all of our sports competitive. So he, on a personal note, has got some soul searching to do, too. When does he pull the trigger? What's best for the program? Two things that will shut a program down pretty quick. The recruits back out, and all the donors take that checkbook and go, checkbook closed. We're not sending any more money until we make a change. So interesting to see what happens down in Knoxville. Two big games looming at Alabama, then at Kentucky before they come back home to Southern Miss. We're talking to Ivan Sanders, the other school, on up the road in Blacksburg. The Hokies, with a week off, getting ready to entertain a struggling North Carolina team that's been very, very injury-riddled. Hokies in pretty good shape right now. Coach Fuente's got them going again for the second consecutive year in the right direction.
Yes, he has. I've been very impressed with Coach Fuente and the way that he has stepped into that program and been able to continue to make winners of them. And even on their off week, I believe they moved up a little bit in the rankings. So Virginia Tech football is on the rise. They've got the right man for the right job, and that's critical that you have the right man in place. And the coach has shown that he has got everything together up there. Hokie Nation is happy. They're rocking that stadium out, laying the stadium out all the time, and they couldn't be more pleased with their coach, and that's important. And I think that the kids have bought into what he's brought to the campus, and they're executing. And Virginia Tech has got a very good chance of making a lot of noise this year in postseason play.
Hokies are 5-1 overall, 1-1. They're right smack dab in the middle of the Coastal Division, but they're taking on the last place North Carolina Tar Heels, 0-4 in the league and 1-6 overall. So on paper, but you don't play them on paper, but on paper, you would think the Hokies are a prohibitive favorite. Then a little closer to home, the Bucks have a week off. East Tennessee State football for a 5th-ranked Wofford Terriers come to town. They've had some off-field distractions. Teddy Gaines, former Dobbins Minute star, and the safeties coach resigned after being arrested in Kingsport for domestic assault. So Teddy's out as the safeties coach. So tough news off the field for East Tennessee State. Local boy, or local man now, from Dobbins Minute, no longer on the coaching staff. But this football team's turned the corner. I think you're seeing, it's little steps, but I think Coach Torbush got this football program headed very much in the right direction.
I think so too. ETSU, the community's excited about what they're seeing on the field. They're excited about going out to the football games in the new stadium. Coach Torbush has done just a phenomenal job of recruiting locally, which is very big too for your fan bases, because if you can go out and get some good kids here local to you, then you're going to get their families and their schools coming out and support them. And I think ETSU in the next couple of years is going to be a team to be reckoned with. They are growing. There are some baby steps. They're learning. Even though they're losing, they are learning every game. And I think that ETSU is on the right track.
When you cover sports, everybody kind of has their favorite. Which sport do you have a favorite? Which one you like to cover? Football, basketball, baseball, or any of the other sports?
I really like football. I think I know it's a shorter season. They only have one game a week, but I just think there's so much strategy and so much that goes into the sport. And to watch, the physicality of the game, I really just like football's always been sort of up at the top. Baseball's been one of those secondary sports I like. Basketball, of course, whenever you're in the sports writing business, you know, you kind of gain a love for everything. At one time, I really didn't know much about soccer, didn't care about soccer, but right now I like to go cover soccer games. You know, it's exciting, and I think all these kids, all these sports deserve people to come out and support them because they're putting a lot of time, a lot of effort into what they're doing, and I think that we owe it to them to come out and support them at whatever it is. So, but football's right up there kind of at the top. I love high school football, of course, locally with being from Elizabeth, and I've got the 5 schools that always seem to do well in football. Unaca's starting to come on, got their first win the other night. You got your Clallan, your Hamptons, your Happy Valley, and of course Elizabeth. But I love high school football, and then college football right up there too.
Got a good one Friday night. Cloudland up on the mountain in Johnson County. Going to be a little cool up on the mountain in Mountain City, but I think that's going to be a great old backyard slobber knocker. Both teams are ranked in the state, Cloudland and Johnson County, and that should be a dandy football game.
It's going to be a dandy. I mean, when you've got Mike Lunsford standing on the sidelines, you can't really tell what's going to come your way. So Johnson County, even though they're undefeated, they've got that awesome defense up there. They're going to have their hands full with those boys from Clallan. Johnson County, on the other hand, kudos to them. They've been taking it on the chin for several years and making the playoffs, but not being able to go very, very deep. Now they're ranked number 3 in the state, I think, this week, undefeated. And it's a big year for the boys up in Mountain City, and I'm glad they're having that good year up there. They really deserved it for all the hard work they put into that program.
They're solid 3rd in the state right now. Cloudland again, I believe they're 9th or 10th in the state in single-A football, so it'll be the old backyard, as we say, old-fashioned slobber knocker Friday night in Mountain City, Cloudland and Johnson County. Other games in the picking panel, of course, South Elizabethton, Cherokee at Tennessee High, the Musket Bowl, Crockett at Boone. Nick Lingerfeld stepped in a tough situation. The 3rd coach in 3 weeks says, I'm going to coach his football team. To his credit, they may not win a game, but there are only 2 games left this week and next week in the regular season. Then for the Crockett fans, hopefully they're going to get into the playoffs. But this guy steps up and says, look, either we shut down the season, which is what the kids had a chance to vote on Monday, and they decided to go forward, which I think is very admirable. So he said, we either shut them down or we go forward. If we shut them down, then the TSSAA gets involved. I don't understand their logic, because then they talk about if they shut down the football, then they're going to penalize the basketball team, which makes no sense to me at all. But thankfully, Nick Lingerfeld stepped in and said, I'm going to make sure that the football doesn't stop at Crockett. If they get blown out 80-0, they win 80-0, whatever on Friday night, at the tip of the cap to Lingerfeld, I think, because he said, we're going to step in and do what's right for these kids in this program and keep football alive at Crockett. And they got the biggest game of the year against their cross-county rival Friday night, the Musket Bowl.
Win or lose, the Crockett kids are already winners for the statement they've made, like you said, coming back. We've seen Boone this year against Elizabeth, and Boone's a very, very, very good team. All the stuff going on at Crockett's kind of got them in upheaval, but a man like Nick Lingerfeld can step in there and make a difference for that program and at least get them through the season. I know he said he had no interest in coaching football beyond this year, but the thing he wanted to do was bring unity, and that's what that program needs right now. And if they can get things together down there and just be able to finish out, it says a lot. And you're talking about the TSSAA. If you remember, when Unaca forfeited that playoff game last year, the TSSAA was going to penalize the basketball team, and they made an appeal, and unfortunately they won that appeal. But it is sad that things like that happen. But on the other hand, the fact that Crockett stepped up there, the boys turned into men in their decision, and they decided to play the season out. And win or lose against Boone in the Musket Bowl, they're going to be champions, and everyone's eyes down there for not folding.
It's funny, I was watching Remember the Titans. It was last week, as a matter of fact, and Coach Boone came on, and I can't remember the other coach, and he got demoted and put Coach Boone in, and the players are going to forfeit and boycott, or not forfeit, but boycott and set out the game. And the coach said, oh no, you're going to do what's right for the community, for your team. You're going to play football, and so that's what they've done at Crockett, and I admire them for that. So Crockett Bowl Friday night is going to be one of the picking games. Cloudland Johnson County is one of the picking games. Morris, Sullivan North and Sullivan East is a picking game. That's an old cross-county rival between the Golden Raiders and the Patriots, who are struggling this year. Cherokee at Tennessee High at the Stone Castle. That's your 5 picking panel games for high school. Then in college, you've got Michigan at Penn State.
Ooh, what a good one.
Old-fashioned slobber knocker again. Michigan 5-1. They're currently 19th in the country. Penn State undefeated at 6-0. They're going to be again at Penn State for that one. You like Michigan or Penn State?
Oh, at home, I'm going to go with Penn State. I think James Franklin has got that team, I mean, just absolutely revved up, and he's got that town upside down again with Penn State football being on the rise. And I think Penn State at home against a very good Michigan team is going to take care of business. And, I think Franklin and his troops get it done.
Southern Cal goes to Notre Dame to battle the Fighting Irish in South Bend. That's on the picking panel. What do you think?
That's going to be a tough game because anytime you go to South Bend, even if it's against an average Notre Dame team, you got a fight on your hands. And if Southern Cal doesn't go into that game ready and prepared, then they might find themselves going back to Southern California with a loss hung on them. But I'll go with Southern Cal, even though they're on the road. I think that they can take care of business and beat Notre Dame.
10th ranked Oklahoma State got in on the picking panel, 5-1. The Cowboys in Texas to battle the Longhorns at 3-3. I think you throw the records out on this one too. Oklahoma State and Texas could be a good football game in Austin on Saturday. Who do you like?
Anytime you get the Longhorns in Texas, oh my goodness, it's a battle. Those guys, they know how to play football. I think that Oklahoma State is maybe a step or two ahead of Texas at this point, so I'd have to go with Oklahoma State in this battle.
One of the surprise teams in the entire country, maybe in the Southeastern Conference, maybe the entire country, Kentucky. Wildcats having a great run, and so they're going to be at Mississippi State, which, let's see if I can give you the numbers again. Kentucky coming to the ball game. Let's sit on my glasses, so bear with me. Kentucky's 2-1, 5-1 overall. Mississippi State 1-2 and 4-2 overall, so they'll play that in Starkville. Kentucky on the road or Mississippi State at home?
I like the Wildcats. I think Kentucky is not the same Kentucky team that we've known from years past.
I agree.
I think that they're on the rise. It's kind of scary knowing that after this week they've got Tennessee the next week, and I think Kentucky takes care of Mississippi State there in Starkville.
Last one on the picking panel in Tallahassee, Doak Campbell Stadium, a team that's woefully underperforming this year. They've had some obviously key injuries, but still something's not right in Tallahassee. They'll have a chance to redeem themselves. Florida State hosting Louisville on Saturday. Do you take the Seminoles? You take the Cardinals?
I like the Cardinals simply because they've got the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback under center. Florida State, as you said, has struggled due to injuries, but the program is sort of in dishevel right now. I don't know if I've ever seen a Florida State team that has struggled like this one has in years past. So I'm going to go with Cardinals. I think the Cardinals can win on the road.
Before I let you go, switch total gears here and go into Major League Baseball. You've got the Yankees, who are down for the count. They've tied the series up against the Astros, who are going at it again today at Yankee Stadium. Then on the other side, the Dodgers took care of business over the Cubbies, and so they lead that series 3-0, trying to close it out at Wrigley Field today. So let's start with the American League. Yankees, Astros, what do you think of that series?
You know, it's been a while for the Astros been in the playoffs, especially to this point. They had that 2-0 lead when the Yankees have evened that series. I'm afraid it's going to be a tough battle for the Astros against a Yankee team that has all that playoff experience, that playoff history. I think that the Yankees are going to pull it out. It's going to be tight. It may go to the full 7, but I think the Yankees will end up taking that series.
On the other side of the coin, Dodgers and Cubs.
Hey, man, I when I was growing up, my grandfather was the biggest Dodger fan ever was, so I grew up watching all the old Dodger players, Ron Say, Steve Garvey, all those guys, and to see how they're playing right now, to be a good team, you've got to put pieces of the puzzle together. I think that the Dodger ownership has went in and they've looked where they were weak. They brought in the right players. They filled those spots, and right now they're leading a very good Chicago Cub organization by a 3-0 margin. I think it's all said and done for the Cubbies. They might pull this one out today, but in the end, the Dodgers, I don't think that the Cubs have what it's going to take to get them past them, and I think the Dodgers go into the World Series, which sets up that old. If the Yankees do win, it sets up that old Dodger-Yankee showdown, and I remember some good ones from that era too. You got the Reggie Jacksons and the Kirk Gibsons and those old-time rivalries back from history. But that would be an amazing World Series, I think, to see the Dodgers and the Yankees going head-to-head again.
Major League Baseball would love that. The two biggest cities in the country, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, duking it out between the Yankees and the Dodgers. Of course, the Astros and maybe the Cubbies will have something to say about that, but I'm like you. The Dodgers, I think, will close things out today at Wrigley. If not, they're going back to Dodger Stadium for the final two. So you got to feel like you got 3 games with either Kershaw or Hill or Darvish on the mound. You got to like your chance to win 1 out of 3 against the Cubs to win the National League pennant. Ivan Sanders, sports writer, lives about the Star. You hungry?
Oh, yeah. It's getting about that time.
Oh, babe. Get over and get something to eat, and I appreciate you. And can we come back again?
Sure, absolutely.
This is what we do, man. A couple old country boys talking sports. We'll take a quick break. I'll run down the top 25 college football, who's playing where. We talk about some of the games. And also, how about my boys? We are Marshall, the Thundering Herd, a proud alma mater, as they say back home. Thundering Herd in Murfreesboro this week to take on the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders. Marshall on top of the division right now in Conference USA, having a heck of a year for Coach Doc Holliday and the Thundering Herd. So they're on the road this week, playing, as we said, at Middle Tennessee State. Quick break, talk top 25 college football. Thanks again to Ivan Sanders. We'll be right back right after this, live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. Show number 616. They said it would never work here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Welcome to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live again here at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. Haven't done this for a while, so before we get into the top 25 college football, if you're a hunter, we give you the very latest what's going on out in the woods here of Tennessee. We have grouse season that opened up October the 14th this week and goes through February. Daily bag limit of 3 grouse here in Tennessee. Dove season is now open and closes November the 5th. The daily bag limit for doves here in Tennessee are 15 a day. It is now archery deer season here in Tennessee. Going on until November the 3rd is archery deer hunting with bow and arrow. Also right now going on in the state of Tennessee, you have bear hunting. Archery, bear hunting with bow and arrow, of course. No dogs till October the 20th. And then, of course, you'll come back with muzzle loaders and have a chance to bear hunt. Let's see where it's going to be. It'll be in our neck of the woods, which will be muzzleloader, archery, dogs allowed to be October the 30th through November the 3rd. Right now, bear season, archery season for bears, I should say, with no dogs until the 20th, which is not that far away. Then you've got turkey season, archery season going on now for turkey season, going on to the 27th. And then the archery and shotgun and archery is also now through the 27th. So turkey season's up and running right now as well, again in the hills of Tennessee. So sometimes we don't talk about that much, but I thought I'd give you a little update on what's going on in the hunting. And of course, got that out of the TWRA magazine, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency magazine. All right, let's take care of a couple of headlines here. Let's see. Let's start with college basketball. Rick Pitino, the head coach of the Louisville Cardinals, now going to sue Adidas. This guy says, once again, he didn't know anything about anything. This kind of blows my mind. He doesn't know anything, so now he says he had no clue. Hello, Tim Birchfield. The man, the myth, the legend right there, one of the great guys here in this area, Tim Birchfield. Former Louisville coach, Rick Pitino, has filed a federal civil suit against Adidas, according to the Louisville Courier-Journal. Adidas severed ties with the Hall of Famer on Monday. In the lawsuit, Pitino has again denied any involvement in the recent pay-for-play scandal that rocked the college basketball world. Now, he didn't know anything about all the parties going on inside the men's dormitory at Louisville for 5 years, had no clue about that. Now, in today's lawsuit, Coach Pitino swears he had nothing to do with that, no knowledge of the Adidas conspiracy, says his attorney. His attorney went on to say that Adidas' involvement in the recruitment of Brian Bowman, who's the center of this entire controversy, caused Pitino to be publicly ridiculed, vilified, and criticized precisely because their actions make it appear that Coach Pitino knew about or participated in their conspiracy, and he did not. So yet another scenario going on in Louisville that Rick Pitino didn't know anything about. I don't know. I do know, but anyway, he's no longer coaching at Louisville. Probably won't go back into coaching, is what I'm hearing, but again, Rick Pitino says, again, didn't know anything about what happened at Louisville. How about their athletic director, Tom Jurek, who got let go? Check this out, what this guy was making. Over the past 7 years, through performance bonuses, pay raises, tax subsidies, he collected a total compensation of over $19 million. An average of almost $3 million a year as the athletic director at Louisville. Unbelievable. Well, the academic side of Louisville's upset. The university budgeted less for its biology department, its English department, its history department, and math department than what this guy made. His listed income was more than double that of the next highest paid athletic director, Gene Smith of Ohio State, almost $2 million a year. He received, check this out, Tom Jurek, the athletic director of Louisville, before he got let go, he received up to $30,000 a year for financial advisors to help him manage his money, and $12,000 a year to cover the cost of 2 vehicles. $12,000 a year to cover the cost of 2 vehicles. It's a lot of gas running up and down the road. It's going to cost you $12,000. So anyway, that's the very latest and interesting stuff going on again at Louisville. Pitino again denies everything. So anyway, it is what it is. Let's see what's happening in the National Hockey League from last night. The Predators skate to a victory on the ice. We'll be at Philadelphia tomorrow night. Again, the Predators 4-1 over Colorado. Other winners in the National Hockey League: Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Toronto, Vancouver, New Jersey, Columbus. Also winning on the ice: Dallas, Carolina, and Buffalo. Tonight, skating Detroit or Toronto against the Maple Leafs. Chicago in St. Louis skating against the Blues. And the Canadiens in Los Angeles to skate against the Kings. Top 25 college football tomorrow night. 25th ranked Memphis will be at Houston at 4-2. Memphis at 5-1. On Saturday, the early games. 5th ranked Wisconsin 6-0, hosting Maryland 3-2, or 3-3 rather. 10th ranked Oklahoma State, talked about that one. 5-1 Cowboys at 3-3 Texas. Those are the early games. 3:30 kickoffs. Alabama, Tennessee, butt whooping in the worst way for the Tennessee Volunteers. The spread, 34 points. Good Lord. Nick Saban will beat him like a junkyard dog, I'm telling you. And he's going to cover that spread, 34-point spread for Alabama. Miami, 8th ranked Hurricanes against Syracuse, 4-3 in Miami. The Hokies, as Ivan Sanders talked about, by the way, Ivan was awesome. That guy was good. Ivan Sanders talking about the Hokies, 5-1, hosting North Carolina 1-6 at 3:30 at Lane Stadium. 18th ranked Michigan State, Spartans 5-1, hosting Indiana 3-3. 20th ranked Central Florida, the Black Knights at 5-0 at Navy, 5-1. Pretty good game there. Also afternoon affair. 9th ranked Oklahoma Boomer Sooner at 5-1 will be at Kansas State 3-3. Night games involving top 25 teams. 16th ranked South Florida playing at Tulane 3-3. 24th ranked LSU, the Bayou Bengals will be at Ole Miss 3-3. Other night games, here's the biggie. 19th ranked Michigan 5-1 at number 2 ranked Penn State 6-0. 11th ranked Southern Cal 6-1. Night game at Notre Dame and South Bend, the Fighting Irish at 5-1 for Notre Dame. Other ball games at nighttime. 21st ranked Auburn will be at Arkansas. War Eagles 5-2. Arkansas 2-4. 4th ranked Texas Christian playing host to Kansas. TCU, the Horned Frogs at 6-0. Kansas at 1-5. 23rd ranked West Virginia, the Mountaineers 4-2. Night game at Baylor, who's 0-6. And Colorado 4-3 will travel to 15th ranked Washington State. The Cougars hosting the Buffaloes. Cougars are 6-1. The Golden Buffaloes are at 4-3. And those are the top 25 college football games around the country. Also in the Southern Conference, of course, the Bucs are off this week. Mercer at Furman, Western Carolina VMI, Sanford at Wofford. Wofford 5th in the country. The Bucs will have them next week. And the Citadel goes to Chattanooga to battle the Moccasins in the Southern Conference. Southeastern Conference, Idaho at Missouri. Of course, Tennessee at Alabama. Kentucky, Mississippi State. LSU at Ole Miss, and Auburn at Arkansas on Saturday. Atlantic Coast Conference, Louisville at Florida State. Pitt will be at Duke to battle the Blue Devils. Boston College in Charlottesville to play Virginia. Syracuse and Miami. North Carolina at Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest to take on the Ramblin' Wreck at Georgia Tech. That'll be a 7:30 kickoff in Atlanta. That is a look at college football involving the 3 conferences of our local teams: Tennessee, East Tennessee State, and the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We're live again here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. And so you have the brand new product. It's the hash brown scrambled bowl. You have hash brown potatoes. You have scrambled eggs. You have a blend of Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese. And you have your choice of either Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Now, if you do the Chick-fil-A nuggets, the protein in this bad boy, this hash brown scramble bowl, 30 grams of protein. When you use the nuggets versus sausage, you can either get it in a burrito or in a bowl. Starts at $3.49. Brand new item. Again, it's the hash brown scrambled bowl or hash brown scrambled burrito. Again, here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. And they serve breakfast every day until 10:30, Monday through Saturday. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll be joined by Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. We're live here again at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. We'll come right back after you hear this from our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 616. Oh, before we go to the break, I almost forgot this, went right into the show, and forgot to tell you the verse of the day. If you're tuning in for the first time, we dedicate this show to the man who hung on the cross right on time. Unashamedly do that. Here's the verse of the day. I created your innermost being. I knit you together in your mother's womb. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't ever forget that, out of the book of Psalms. And so we'll take a quick break. We'll get him ready to go and let him get settled in, get him a drink, wet his whistle. Greg Salyer talking baseball next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back live with the Tom Fuller Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City. We talked, of course, about the hash brown scramble bowl, brand spanking new breakfast item here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Also want to remind you, we're going to be live at Max Medicine Mart on Friday. Dr. Walton's going to join us by phone coming up here in a few minutes because we've got a huge celebration, 28-year anniversary, live at Max Medicine Mart on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be at Champion Chevrolet tomorrow. And again, we will be live, as we said, at Max Medicine Mart on Friday, helping to celebrate the 28th anniversary, again, of the Max Medicine Mart. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so lots of giveaways, lots of goodies. Won't steal his thunder. I'll let him tell you all about it coming up. He'll join us here at the bottom of the hour on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Also, don't forget, we're going to be telling you about our good friend, the Gator Man at Cherokee Barbershop. Again, the home of the free haircut. Yep, haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. Get to keep the cup. Cherokee Barbershop, South Rome Street in Johnson City. Again, when the barber pole's out, the Gator Man's in and does a great job, including the man to my right. I think he still owes your ears, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, last week actually.
He does.
Yeah, I saw him last week, and
so we've got him. We're ready to go. We're talking about my man right here. Let's hit him and let's get him up and get him properly adorned on the bottom of the screen here. We want this man, everybody know who he is, and hit it right there. I think I did. Yeah, Greg Salyer, Major League Baseball update. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hey, Tom. I'm great. How are you?
Good. A little fall weather. Feels a little fall outside. And
yeah.
Here comes one of the greatest guys in the world right here. Bobby Snyder.
He has. He has.
Well. You're going to have jewels in your crown, my friend, for taking care of her. You just hang in there. How many years y'all been hitched? 57 years and 4 months. Wow.
Wow.
Where'd you take her on your first date? Drive-in. Did you go to the drive-in? A good man right there. Yeah. You keep smiling. Oh, there's some more rings, so you hang in there and keep smiling, all right? Biggins?
Wow.
That's awesome. He's a good one right there, Bobby Snyder. You have a good day, sir. Glad I got a chance to see you. All right, let's jump in there. Hello, Ben. Hello, young lady. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. All right, let's jump in there and go. Let's start with the American League. The Yankees, man, I read the stat on Monday. When you're down 2-0, 84% of the time you're not going to win the series. You're going to be eliminated. They've come back. It's 2-2, but why am I surprised? They did the same thing against the Indians.
Yeah, they did, and yeah, they're not going to go down quietly. That's for sure. No matter what, the Yankees have shown they're for real, and the Astros won 2 really close games to start the series. Both of them 1-run games, and then the Yankees have went back to New York and decided they were going to score some runs. But really, I mean, if you think about it, especially yesterday's game. They did most of their scoring against the bullpen of Houston. Game 3, Charlie Morton threw a better game than the result, really, I think. Never really thought Charlie Morton was a great pitcher, especially his years in Pittsburgh. But, he was 14-7 this year with Houston. And, I'll take that anytime. And, he probably deserved a little better than he got, but the Yankees beat him and then beat the bullpen yesterday, and they're showing that they're in it to make some noise at least. I mean, they don't have the home field advantage. They still have 2 games in Houston and 1 in New York, so it's pretty much a must win for I think the Yankees this next game in New York, and then they just have to win 1 out of 2 in Houston. But I like Houston's chances still in this series.
Astros led 4-0 going to the bottom of the 7th. They got beat 6-4. They had a collapse, obviously, late in the game.
Yeah, they did, and I turned that game on kind of late, and they had just scored those 4 runs actually when I turned it on, and saw the Yankees do their damage, and I mean it was like they were just not going to be denied. Todd Frazier looked like a cheerleader out there dancing up and down the dugout. It was kind of crazy, but that's the kind of guy he is. He's a rah-rah guy anyway. I still like the Astros' chances, but don't count the Yankees out. I mean, they have a shot, so they're not going to give up. That's for sure.
The last time the Yankees overcame a 4-run deficit to win a playoff game was the Aaron Boone game, Game 7 of the 2003 ALCS, which cost then Red Sox manager Grady Little his job. So the Yankees certainly capable. When you look at CC Sabathia, this guy's come back and he's throwing like the year he won the Cy Young in 07, and it's like he's been rejuvenated, and of course the bullpen's been solid for the Yankees. But I guess the biggest turnaround, Judge has come to life, and Frazier, and of course Didi Gregorius had that big triple again. In the 7th inning, and so the offense has come to life for the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely. Against the Indians, Judge didn't do much other than strike out. I mean, let's face it. I think he had something like 13 strikeouts in that series, and he didn't do much, but he has come to life against Houston's pitching, and the old Reds, Frazier and Gregorius, they have shown some power and what they can do as well. So yeah, there's former Reds still playing. No current Reds still playing, but former Reds still playing. So so they've showed that they're going to do what they can to win this thing. So we'll see. We'll know by this time next week for sure, but we'll see what happens.
Judge crushes 1-3 and crushes an even bigger one last night in Game 4 at Straightaway Center. How about this? The Yankee outfielder, here a little record book. I don't know who sits around coming up with all these records, but it's crazy the stuff they have. The Yankee outfielder aged 25 or younger to hit home runs in back-to-back playoff games, Aaron Judge, Mickey Mantle in 56 and 52, and Charlie Keller all the way back to 1939. So, and then he had a clutch double later in the game to tie the game. So Judge, they're kind of on his big 6'7" shoulders, and he's carrying him right now.
Yeah, he is. He shows that he's going to be there for a reason. I mean, we worried about that, I think, a little bit in the Cleveland series. I really thought that the Yankees were just going to fold up and die. I really did. I mean, because their offense was horrendous. The problem was Cleveland's offense was horrendous as well. Neither team hit in that series. So the Yankees were able to overcome that and win that series. And Judge has come alive. Still waiting for Gary Sanchez. I don't count him out yet. He's probably going to do something before the series is over as well. It's a great series. I'm enjoying seeing it. The bats have gone a little bit cold for Houston, but they can wake up just as suddenly as the Yankees bats have.
Lance McCullers, the starter for the Astros, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2, struck out 3. On the other side of the coin, Sonny Gray for the Yankees, through 5 innings, gave up just 2 hits, struck out 4, did not walk anybody. So the starting pitching, so-so. But here we come back right around again for Game 5 today, and you have played again Sam situation. 5:08 first pitch, Yankee Stadium. Dallas Keuchel. He says, man, this is the guy that's got the beard and the hair.
Yeah.
He just like Grizzly Adams. He said, man, he said, Yankee Stadium's going to be hostile. He said, man, I like it. I watched him this morning. I like it. I want to get out there in front of them guys. I like it. He's kind of a different bird. So,
yeah, he is.
Which means I like him. So Dallas Keuchel over the Astros, and Tanaka will go for the Yankees. It's a pretty good matchup. I guess, it's a rematch of Game 1.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. I'm excited to see what happens. Keuchel, he struggled just a little bit there against the Red Sox, but it seems like he's got things back like he would like to have it, and we'll see which pitcher shows up, the one that beat the Yankees or the one that struggled against the Red Sox earlier in the playoffs. And I like this matchup a lot. I think we're going to have another low-scoring game, and to be honest, I think that sort of favors Houston. If that's the case. So we'll see what happens. Keuchel has got to make sure that he keeps the ball in the yard. That's the big thing. And he doesn't generally give up a lot of home runs, so we'll see what happens with that.
I liked him. I saw the guy. I don't know anything about him. Couldn't even pronounce his name half. Greg had helped me pronounce his name. Now I like Keuchel. He's looking at the camera, and he's kind of got that. It kind of reminded me, I'm going to date myself here, Al Roboski, the Mad Hungarian.
Yeah.
Kind of looked in the camera, yeah. I want to be there. Because the guy said, you're going to be Yankee Stadium, we're going to be after you. It's Game 5. You're heading to Houston after this. He said, I like it. I'm ready. So we'll see. He may go out there and have an adrenaline overload and get tattooed. We'll have to wait and see. But he got me fired up. I'm going to pay attention to what he's doing today. Dallas Keuchel, the starter for the Houston Astros. I guess he's one of the guys in contention, I would think. Although I guess Kershaw's the front runner for the Cy Young. Got to kind of throw Keuchel in there, don't you?
Well, yeah, I think in the American League, he's going to be one of the guys that I think he'll be in the top 3 for sure in the American League. Yeah. I'll tell you, I feel bad for Kluber. He had a great regular season, and just in the playoffs he just couldn't do it. So kind of felt bad for him there. But but they vote before the playoffs start, so we'll see what happens with that Cy Young.
And if you're a competitor like he is, and the way he had a whimpering, he was very strong in the regular season, his postseason was pretty much a whimper. You got to wake up every morning and think about that all off season. So if you're a competitor, and obviously he is, it's going to kind of get in your gut and grind you out a little bit, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is, absolutely. Yeah, till February, he's going to be struggling with that.
So, anyway, that's what's going on with the Dodgers. The Yankees at 5:08. The Dodgers and the Yankees and the Astros at 5:08 this afternoon. And then last night, the Dodgers go into Wrigley and beat them 6-1 in Game 3. They lead the best of 7, 3-0. They can win it today at Wrigley Field, close things out. Yu Darvish, 6 in the third innings, struck out 7, allowed just 1 run, gave up 6 hits and a walk. Pretty good on a cold night at Wrigley Field for Darvish.
Yeah, absolutely. They got everything they wanted from Darvish and more, I think, in that game last night. And the Dodgers are just showing now why they are where they are this year, why they have the best record in baseball. I mean, they are the dominant team. Last year, I think we would have had to said it was the Cubs that was the dominant team. This year, I think we have to say probably the Dodgers, and we'll see what the Cubs can do tonight. Jake Arrieta is going to get the start, and you can never I would never bet against Arrieta, that's for sure. But the Dodgers would like to finish it up right now.
Absolutely.
They don't want to have to worry about their pitching rotation or their bullpen going into the World Series. They want to finish it up right now, move on, and just be waiting on either the Astros or the Yankees.
Well, you look at what's wrong with the Cubs, it's pretty simple. The Cubs have scored 4 runs in the first 3 games. You can't win when you're averaging fewer than 2 runs a game. It's not going to happen. So their offenses went dormant, obviously. Also, the Cubs are 2. Check this out, this number. The Dodgers bring their guys out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
The Cubs are 2 for 34 against the Dodger bullpen. 2 for 34.
Yeah.
And you got little league teams doing better than that. So, given how the Dodgers have been quick to pull their starters, the Cubs offense has kind of vanished in late innings. 2 for 34 in the bullpen. That ain't too hot if you're a Cub fan.
No. Cub fans probably need to be worried a little bit. I just they're not out of it by any stretch of imagination, but they're going to have to do something miraculous, I think, at this point to come back from 3 games down.
Last time I went to a Reds game, it was against the Cubs about 6 or 7 years ago. All I heard, of course, we're in Cincinnati, and all, let's go Cubbies, all around me. And I was like, every time I think of the Cubs, I hear that. It's like, it's okay. Cub fans allowed to cheer, but it's like, just kind of.
I know.
Kind of grated my nerves after a while.
Yeah.
Let's go Cubbies.
Absolutely.
In the middle of the Cincinnati Reds ball game. But the Reds were terrible then, too, so there's more Cub fans watching the game in Cincinnati than they were. But anyway, Cubs are a very proud franchise. They're going to give them all they want. Cubs are 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position this series as well, so they're just not getting it done offensively. Andre Ethier. This guy hammers one out. This guy's not known for his power. He got a home run for the Dodgers yesterday. So
and played his first game of the season on September 1st this year. After being hurt. 36 years old. He's showing he's not done yet. They keep pulling these outfielders out of nowhere. And, to be honest, I hadn't even thought much about Andre Ethier this whole year. And here he is, in the championship series and getting a clutch home run. So good for him.
Here's a guy that's got to be good, Chris Taylor. He had a solo home run, an RBI triple. So Taylor, the first player, here's another one of those useless stats, the first player to ever hit a home run in the same postseason as a shortstop and an outfielder. Mm-hmm. Who sits down and comes up with this stuff?
Yeah.
One nerd somewhere is in some back room with a pocket protector going, okay.
Let's see who's done that before. Yeah.
It's like,
nobody.
It's like, where did you get these stats? Chris Taylor, the first player to ever hit a home run in the same postseason as a shortstop and an outfielder. I would have never guessed that in 2 million years. I don't care.
Yeah.
Somebody does, obviously. So, anyway, this is how bad things are going for the Cubbies. They walk the opposing pitcher, Yu Darvish, a bases-loaded walk.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells you right there what kind of series you're having. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what happened in that inning because I was watching that. Carl Edwards Jr. was pitching for the Cubs, and I'll tell you something. He has pitched himself out of Joe Maddon's good graces, I think. I think he did it before last night, but last night really did it. With the bases loaded, they with Darvish due up, they put Curtis Granderson on deck, and everybody thought, they're going to pinch hit for Darvish. His night's done. Well, when the number 8 hitter grounded out to drive in a run, and that must have been number 7 hitter grounded out to drive in a run. Then he walked the number 8 hitter, and Granderson then went back to the dugout. Darvish came up to hit and actually faked a bunt like 2 or 3 times with 2 outs and the bases loaded, which, you think, okay, is he really going to do that? But, the guy was in the American League almost his whole career until middle of this season, so he's not had a lot of at-bats in his career and not known for I don't even know if he's ever had a hit. I don't think he has.
Call this nerd as back in the back.
Yeah, just to ask and say, hey, has you Darvish ever had a hit?
Oh, man.
But, but then to get walked with the bases loaded to drive in a run, you look at Dave Roberts and say, what are you thinking? He's got a potential for a big inning, but he really got all the runs he needed. So he had total confidence in Darvish to come back out. He wanted to save him for another inning, which he went another inning and a third, and he wanted to save him for that. And then he had total confidence in his bullpen, which who wouldn't after those stats that you gave as well. So
Alex Wood goes to the Dodgers tonight, 9 o'clock. Jake Arrieta, as you said, for the Cubs. 9 o'clock start time. TV drives the bus, but man, 9 o'clock in Chicago on an October night, it's got to be. I don't know what the weather was last night. It's got to be cold. I didn't check it, but Wood for the Dodgers, Arrieta for the Cubbies. We're going to ask Greg about the managerial situations coming up in a moment, but Major League Baseball teams up 3-0 in the best-of-7 series will win the set 97% of the time. They win it in 4 games. To sweep it, they win it 81% of the time. If those numbers play out right, the Dodgers will be celebrating the World Series trip on Wrigley Field's grass tonight. So if you're up 3-0 in the best-of-7, you're going to win 97% of the time. If you're up 3 games to none, you're going to sweep it 81% of the time. That's that old, what was Dragnet? The old boy said, facts don't lie. So
yeah,
it's certainly the Dodgers to lose this point.
Yeah, and it had never happened. Nobody had ever come back from 3 games to nothing, with a 3-0 deficit to win until the Red Sox did it a few years ago, and then San Francisco has done it as well since then. But you just don't see it happening. I think it's only happened maybe 2 or 3 times in baseball history. So. You just don't see that. But, something we haven't talked about, you talked about Chris Taylor playing both outfield and infield. The reason he played shortstop is the Dodgers are playing without Corey Seager. I mean, he is not on the roster for the championship series just because of injury. And, a guy that a lot of people think will get some MVP votes this year. Not able to play in this round of the playoffs. And you would think that would hurt the Dodgers, but so far it hasn't.
We're talking to Greg Sal. You see on the screen our Major League Baseball update. Guy's phenomenal. Has been phenomenal all year long. Love to have him come over here. So, in closing, we got 4 managerial openings. Red Sox, Phillies, actually 2 in each league. Boston, Detroit in the American League, Philadelphia and the Mets in the National League. I think it's 4, right?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not one in Cincinnati, but we got 4, 2 American, 2 national. I keep hearing Cora being bounced around in Boston and also in Philadelphia. Osmus has said he's not interested in the Mets job in New York. So what's the latest in the managerial carousel?
Yeah, Osmus is probably not going to go to New York. I mean, with the scrutiny that he took in Detroit, it would be multiplied by 10 in New York, and I don't think he wants that right now. I mean, he had a really hard season in Detroit. And maybe next year, but not this coming year. He's not. He's going to take a year off if he does anything instead of going to New York. But I could see Osmus managing again this coming year if there's a mid-season opening or something like that. I think that'll happen. I don't know that he'll go to one of these other 3 teams, Boston, Philadelphia, or the Mets. That's what I think. Cora is a guy that you've been hearing about as a manager forever. And you just kind of wonder, when is he going to get his chance? When's he going to have that opportunity? I think it'll come. I would hate to see him, though, go to Philadelphia and struggle. But I think he would be a good fit there. He might be a good fit in Boston. I mean, that would be a tougher place to manage, I would imagine, because of the fans and the scrutiny of the press there. But don't be surprised if Cora doesn't get a chance to manage. If not this year, then in some years to come for sure.
So, in closing here, you and I are the Mets ownership. You and I will probably get an argument. I don't want Brett Ausmus. He may be a great guy, but he didn't win in Detroit. That's why he's not there.
Yeah.
So they keep recycling. At least it looks like to me, recycling guys. Freddie Gonzalez now has been jumped out there as a possible replacement for Ausmus in Detroit. He wasn't exactly a barn burner in Miami or Atlanta, but maybe there's just not enough candidates out there. But it seems like we're recycling the same guys, and I don't know why I would want a guy come to my team who didn't win on that team. That's why he's not on that team anymore. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, that's something you definitely got to think about. Look at their track record, see what they've done. You got a guy like John Farrell who's available now because he's not going to be in Boston. You look at him and say, okay, this guy's won some World Series. I mean, this guy can win some games. I would think one of these other three teams would be all over him.
Figured they've already signed him.
Yeah.
I'm not even hearing anything about Farrell.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's almost like
went rogue.
Yeah. If I was Philadelphia, he'd be on my speed dial. I'd be saying, hey, can I get this guy? And if so, what's it going to take? Let's get him in. Let's sign him now. I don't know about the Mets. The Mets make strange decisions when it comes to managers. So we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. But that's just typical for them.
Spell his name Salyer. If you're a Mets fan, would like to comment on that. If you want to I'll mail my way. We'll send it on to him. They make strange decisions.
Well, I mean, let's face it, they do.
You're hilarious. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Get my funny bone.
Oh, okay. I lost my train of thought now. I don't even know what I was saying. But you got some guys that I think we'll see getting an opportunity coming up. Guys who have, as a player, you would see them and say, oh, this guy's going to be a manager one day. He knows the game so well. He knows the strategy so well. There's a guy that's in the Reds minor league system right now. He's their minor league catching coordinator right now, Corky Miller. Okay, you remember Corky Miller?
Corky Miller, yeah.
Okay, played in Louisville forever and was the Reds. I guess you could say he was their number 3 catcher forever because, he wore out the road between Louisville and Cincinnati. Played for the Rockies for one season. I think he played for someone else another season, maybe Atlanta for a season, I think, as well. But Corky Miller's a guy that's going to manage in the major leagues one day. Now, you would think he would probably start out in the minor leagues, but, he may or may not. But he's a guy that will manage a major league team one day, I believe, and it'll be before too long.
So, recycling lots of managers because there's nobody really coming up.
I mean, you're either going to give a rookie a chance, somebody's not done it before, and we could talk about guys that are in that position right now in the majors, like Brian Price, never managed before.
And can't manage now.
Yeah, the Reds manager. He was a pitching coach, a good pitching coach. Let's give the man credit. A great pitching coach, perhaps even with some of the guys that he had. But when he became a manager, it just didn't work. So so you got to wonder. Okay, when do we give this guy his first chance? When do we give him an opportunity to manage at the major league level? Is it after he's managed a year or two in the minor leagues, or maybe 10 years in the minor leagues, or do you give a guy a chance who has shown that he can do other things and maybe just hope he can manage as well?
In closing here, we got Barry Walton waiting in the wings by phone, and Max Meadows Mart will be there Friday to help celebrate the 28th anniversary of the store. Can't wait to be over there on Friday. He's going to join us here in a minute. In closing, as the Astros and the Yankees play tonight, if the Yankees win and take it back to Houston, the Yankees get a chance to face Keuchel today, obviously. And if they have to go back to Houston, they got Verlander. So, Jose Altuve says, bring them on, is what he said about the Yankees. I'll take my chances with Keuchel and Verlander to win one. Bring them on. Bring them on. So there you go.
Yeah.
So, you're awesome. I look forward to you doing this every week. You do a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
I get comments all the time about you. So, not me. You. I said, to use a baseball vernacular, I'm the setup guy. And I turn over to this guy and turn him loose and let him go. Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
All right. Jump in there and go. And
all right.
Take a break, and I can get my man Walton on the phone. Greg Salyer again, the Major League Baseball update. See you next week.
All right.
Good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We're here.
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome job. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the home of my man Tim Birchfield and Connie Lehrman, all the great kids at Chick-Fil-A here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number 616. They said it wouldn't last.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available at Chick-Fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-Fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us as we are here again. And on the phone is our buddy Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Tom Taylor. How you doing?
Just fine, sir. Before we get into the big announcement, the big celebration on Friday, your Crimson Tide hosting the Tennessee Volunteers on Saturday. The largest point spread I think I read in about 35 years. 34.5-point spread are favored by the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Will Nick cover the spread, or do you have mercy on the Volunteers?
I think he'll cover. And the only reason I say that is I'm not sure Tennessee will score, other than if it's like a defensive touchdown or something like that. These are my two favorite teams, and I always hate to see one of them when they're down. But this is just a very frustrating game, I think, for almost everybody. There's no way Alabama can win big enough to be impressive, and there's no way that I don't see any way that Tennessee can compete, and they haven't scored a touchdown in only 1 out of 12 SEC quarters so far. So it's just and none in the last 10 quarters. So I'm going to be in Tuscaloosa for the game, but it's not one that I'm really looking as forward to as I have in some past years. I just don't see it as being a competitive situation at this point.
So, again, we're talking to Barry Walton on the phone. So what do you do? I mean, we've talked about this all week, calling a different guest. You're John Curry, you're the new AD. You got to make them, you're trying to make a name for yourself and impress everybody that Tennessee made the right decision as athletic director. You see the football team, the recruits are decommitting. It looks like he has lost the team both on the field and in the locker room. Why do you not make a change? Why do you not try and protect those recruits that are decommitting now by the day? So if you're John Curry, the athletic director, you've got a tough task ahead of you, but I'm going to put you in that position. If you're the AD at Tennessee, what do? You keep Butch? You let him go? What would you do, athletic director, if you could make those calls?
Well, I do kind of admire him for not getting rid of Butch after the South Carolina game. Because I think it would have been very unfair to have an interim head coach taking a team on the road to visit number 1 Alabama. when the team is in turmoil. I don't think there would be any way that could be perceived as a positive. Also, you got to look at the fact that the last coach they had with Dooley, they let him go before the season ended, and you don't want to get the reputation for having, no matter what the situation, you don't want to get the reputation of having a quick trigger finger on a coach, because that will scare off some potential folks that will want to come in maybe and help build the program back to where it once was. So, but I think given the situation with the recruits decommitting, with the rumors of everything going on in the locker room, losing the team, all that stuff, if it's true, then they have to do something. And it's I wouldn't be surprised to see some announcement made after the Alabama game, but it just doesn't look like after 5 years of supposedly top 5 and top 15 recruiting classes every year, there's just no excuse for the performance and the product that we're seeing out there on the field. I told somebody the other day that as an owner of a business, if I had a product that was performing that poorly, I would probably discontinue carrying it. So that's kind of the perspective I look at these things. Well, it is what it is. If you have something that's not getting the job done, why would you sell it to people?
Exactly.
And these people, $85 tickets for some of these games, $100 tickets for some of these games. You got, and I know he's got a buyout clause on his contract, so that's an issue as well. But as one of my friends pointed out, 100,000 people at $85 a ticket, that's $8.5 million. That covers your buyout at one game. One game. So you can look at it that way, because I can tell you at the start of that South Carolina game, there were a lot of empty seats in the stadium, and if what happens at Alabama, what everybody's predicting happens down there, happens, it's going to be really ugly to see what it's going to look like when LSU comes to Knoxville, unless you're an LSU fan. But there's going to be a lot of empty seats there, and tickets, quite frankly, on the secondary market are selling below cost for SEC games. That doesn't happen in Knoxville, but yet it is. So it's not an ideal situation.
We're talking to Dr. Barry Walton. Of course, it doesn't get any easier for Tennessee. They go to Kentucky next week, then come back home to Southern Miss, go to Missouri, LSU comes to town, and then Vanderbilt to wrap up the schedule. Your Crimson Tide have a week off after this week, and then they will go, it's a little tough for them, too. They got LSU in Tuscaloosa. They go to Mississippi State. Mercer back home for a butt whooping, a checkbook game. And then the Iron Bowl at Auburn on Thanksgiving weekend. So the Crimson Tide's got a fairly tough schedule, kind of riding things out here. But, yeah, I was looking at some of the numbers. Tennessee has the lowest scoring output in the conference and outside the conference after 6 games of any team in the Southeastern Conference. Unacceptable. And so we'll see how it goes on Saturday. On Friday, can't wait. We're going to be there at Max Medicine Mart for the sale, SALE, the celebration of the 28th anniversary of the store. It's going to be a lot of fun, and got lots planned. Tell me about it.
Well, absolutely. We've got a sale going on our vitamins and supplements. We're going to put all of those 30% off for Friday. So we're looking forward to that. We've got some giveaways for folks. We're going to have samples of different kinds. There's going to be a diet cheesecake out there, some protein bars, free popcorn, bottled water. We've got some weekly medication pill holders that we're going to be giving away, and some prize cards with every purchase. So what that entails is each customer will have a chance to draw from a stack of cards, and those cards can contain coupons for things like Halo Top ice cream, Amy's frozen dinners, Bates Family Farm products, Amish wedding food. I mean, some good stuff. Or you have a free prize on the wheel, the prize wheel. We have a prize wheel that you can spin, and you can win by one of 3 methods. You can either get a drawing for a free spin card, or you can if you purchase $50 worth of vitamins or supplements, you get a free spin. Or if you purchase $20 worth of Kroger or Amish wedding products, you'll get a free spin. So you can spin the wheel and see if you can win something that way. And some of the gifts that we have a Max gift bundle with some different things that we have that reflects the values of Max Medicine Mart. We've got some tote bags, some T-shirts. Nature's Plus has a basket that will be given away. Nature's Way has come through with a lot of different things. They have a Nature's Way Alive tote bags, mugs, some caps, some T-shirts, an alarm clock. Natural Factors has a basket that's a very nice selection of their products. A Himalayan salt lamp will be given away, and some Badger lip balm, and some massagers as well. So just a lot of different things, and we're very excited to be celebrating nearly 30 years, coming up on this will be our 28th anniversary. So it's a very exciting time for Max Medicine Mart, and of course that takes place on Friday. 28 years ago, Tom, when we opened up, it was snowing in October, and that was the first day that Max Medicine Mart had business. And of course we were over in the old building at that point, so we're coming up on 2 years of being in this building. So it's a very exciting time, and we encourage all of our friends and people that are just curious to come on in and help celebrate our 28th anniversary on Friday, October 20th.
Yep, we'll be there broadcasting live. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. So lots of giveaways. The supplement of this month, let's talk about, of course, the Gaia supplement is on sale, 20% off. And tell us about that other supplement you got on sale, 20%.
Solgar is just doing a great job. They've really stepped up to the plate as well. Their product number 7, which is an anti-inflammatory, is going great guns. In fact, right before I got on the phone, I was helping a lady with that, and she was asking me some questions about that in relation to the medications that she took. So we were trying to coordinate that to see if it was okay for her to take that, and it was. So that was a good thing. But and the Gaia products, they have a turmeric product out there as well that helps reduce inflammation and helps movement. So there's just a great selection of different products. Solgar and Gaia are wonderful team players that have really helped us help promote this anniversary celebration that we're having. So we're trying to reward them by marking their products down a little bit and getting those out there to the people so they can experience some of the great products here at Max Medicine Mart and Good Food Grocery.
We're talking to Dr. Barry Walton on the phone again from Max Medicine Mart. We'll be there Friday broadcasting live. Big week of high school football, week number 9 of winding things down to the regular season. Big week of college football. We don't talk about the NFL in this show anymore, so they don't get my airtime, but we're promoting college and high school as much as we can. And I guess I got to ask you, of course, I know this is a set-up softball stupid question to ask an Alabama fan, but are they the real deal again this year? Is this the team to beat? And will we see them again in the national championship game? Because it would appear from my vantage point that all the pieces of the puzzle are in place again for another run for Saban and the boys. And I know this is all, but you're going to say, of course they are, Tom. So, and I would expect that. But it would appear Alabama's better this year than last year. What do you think?
I think they have that capability, but I will tell you after I thought the same thing about Clemson. And we saw what happened with them up at Syracuse. And that's just, you have to show up and play. And, of course, Nick has been chiding the media a little bit. He said that's the worst thing that happens to his team is the media, because these kids read about themselves and about how good they are, and they forget to show up on Saturday and actually play the game. So, you have to watch that complacency that comes in. And when you're sometimes you have these games where you're not competitive. You play your starters half a game, and then you let your second and third teams get some reps so they get some experience, so that when it's their turn to step up and win their first team in the next year, the year after that, whenever that may be, they're ready. So I would say we have as much talent as anybody in the country. So far, we have been as consistent as anyone in the country. It's just a matter of finishing out the schedule, and of course, that last game, the Iron Bowl, will be those rivalry games. You always have to be careful of, and then of course, it looks like the way things are looking right now, that would be a great matchup with Georgia in the SEC championship game, should that come about. So it's just going to have to be patient and wait. Like I said, it's nice to be number 1, but we want to be number 1 at the end of the season, not here at the first and the middle of the season, where it doesn't really mean that much. But at the end of the year, that's what we're shooting for.
Last thing before I let you go, you played the game, obviously, was a all-state performer again for the Dobbins-Minute Indians, and had a heck of a career, so you've been there, obviously, as a player. I keep hearing down at Tennessee, he's lost the locker room. Now, I talked to Aaron Ferguson, I had Aaron on the show Monday from Huntington, former Dobbins-Minute All-State and All-American at Marshall, and so he says, when you lose the locker room, you lose, period. So you played the game as a coach, as a player. true or false, when you lose the locker room, forget all the exterior situations, alumni, fans, boosters, whatever. Inside those four walls, you lose the locker room, you lose the team. True or false?
True. Absolutely true. And it's almost impossible to get it back. So, once the kids don't have faith in you, that becomes a cancer, and it's hard to cure that. So, really, the only way to do that is the removal of what's causing it, and you're not going to lose the whole team. You're going to take care of the coaching staff. So that's what looks like it's what's going to be in the works. I have no joy in saying that, but that's just the way it is.
Yep. One more question. Solgar. Again, 20% off, but also this time of year, it's been dry, and now we've had some rain, and now some cooler temperatures. Allergy season is flaring up, so over-the-counter, we'll talk more about it on Friday when I'm there, but right now, tell folks, over-the-counter, what do you have to help folks with the usual fall, autumn allergies from Max Medicine Mart?
Well, Tom, we have a multitude of products, and Solgar has done a really good job of formulating some things that are really good. They have a lot of antioxidants that can be good for that, and a lot of the quercetin product, which is actually somewhat of a hybrid, but it helps people with allergies. It's a mast cell stabilizer. It has antihistaminic properties as well. It's not one of these things that you can take and get an immediate result with. It usually takes about 2 weeks. And even on the mast cell stabilizers that were prescription, the Chromalin products back in the day, when they were given, it took them 2 weeks to kick in as well. So this isn't anything new, but it does take a couple of weeks for that to kick in and give you some relief from hay fever, allergy-type, cold-type symptoms. So this is quercetin from Solgar, certainly one of the products that's gone great guns. The cholesterol-lowering properties are in there as well. So if you have, of course, most folks that eat an East Tennessee diet will have an issue with that at some point. But there's all sorts of things that we can do to help you live a healthier, a longer life, and a more high-quality life. And that's really what we're shooting for, is to help improve your quality of life, give you a little bit more pep in your step as you go through these years that will eventually run out. We want to make sure that when you're out there living your life, that you do so at a high level. And that's really the things that we tell people. We send and walk people over to the good food grocery section quite often because, unfortunately, in the pharmaceutical side, we're often treating problems that are existing. In the good food section, we can sometimes head those things off before they get to the point where they need pharmaceuticals. And it's sometimes a little bit more friendly to the body as well. So, a lot of the natural things, the side effect profiles are not nearly as nasty as some of these prescription drugs can be. But we are certainly open to talking to individual patients about their situations. We're also open to talking to folks about their Medicare Part D plans. Those plans are up for renewal. The election period started October 15th and goes through December 7th. So we can help you choose a Medicare Part D plan that will cover most of the medications that you're taking. Just come on in and talk to us, and we'll sit down with you and figure out what would be the best plan for the least amount of out-of-pocket money for you for the upcoming year, 2018.
Great report as always, my friend. Can't wait to be there on Friday, and we'll see you then. And we're excited about being a part of the 28th anniversary celebration of Max Medicine Mart. I'll see you then, all right?
I'm looking forward to it. We always love to have you, and I can't think of a better way of celebrating our 20th anniversary than having you here in the store. And we'll have a party-like atmosphere, and you'll be right in the middle of it, brother.
There you go. I am the party atmosphere.
Absolutely. That is correct, sir.
I'll see you Friday. I love you, man.
All right, love you, Tom. Take care, brother. We'll talk to you on Friday.
You got it. Right there. That's a class act right there. Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. He is top shelf in my book. And I know somebody said, well, you always tell these guys you love them. Well, I do. And so I treasure their friendship. And I guess it's sissy if another man tell man that he loves them, but it's not like that at all. It's just because I love being in his bubble, and he's a champion, and he's a first-class guy. Yeah, I enjoy being around him. And Ivan Sanders came by today. Thank you, Ivan, from the Elizabethton Star. Greg Salyer, of course, with our Major League Baseball update. Two big ones today. You've got the Dodgers and the Cubs at 9 o'clock tonight. 5 o'clock, the Yankees trying to stay alive against Dallas Keuchel and the Astros in Yankee Stadium. The Dodgers are going to try and close it out tonight, again with Wood on the mound at Wrigley Field against Jake Arrieta. And again, you have Tanaka going for the Yankees in the early game against Dallas Keuchel. Again, that one's tied at 2. So good stuff. So we will tell you how it goes tomorrow. We'll also give you an update on the Sullivan South Lady Ripple volleyball team in South Green still playing in the state tournament. Also get you ready for the regional soccer championship tomorrow in all 3 divisions, AAA, AA, and Single A. We'll talk to Sean Whitten tomorrow, the head football coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. We'll have Tiffany Willis stopping by talking about the big gala coming up with Champion Chevrolet giving away yet another car this year at Champion Chevrolet as Mr. Copenhagen does it and does it so well. How do they do that? Giving away another car for the gala. Also, we've got Shannon going by from Hardee's tomorrow, talking about the Hardee's Classic. Carmichael due to join us. We've got, tomorrow we got Dave Angie coming by. Of course, tomorrow night we've got the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. In fact, before we get out of here, let's let those 2 boys kind of preview it for you right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show before we get out of here. I'm Tom Taylor, you are
Dave Angie.
And we got coming up, it's a really cool, every Thursday, it's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Get you ready for high school and college football every week. Every Thursday, you're going to be covering what for us?
Be looking at the Big East Conference.
Ooh, that would be Dobbinsville, Science Hill, and all those great football teams in that conference. Doug Fritz will be giving you the rest of the high school football picture every week. Then we got colleges covered. Who are we going to be covering?
We got ETSU. We have Tennessee. We have Virginia Tech.
All those. Carmichael's will be along to give us the big 5 games every week because it is a 5-star football preview show. So hope you'll join us every Thursday right here in the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. Dave and I will be co-hosting the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview. And then on top of all that, we're going to have a picking panel where you're going to match us against you and you against us, and I can't wait because they don't have a chance. You're going to go up against us. We're going to pick against you for some really cool prizes, and they don't have a chance, do they?
No chance at all. It's going to be fun times.
Oh, yeah. Putting toe to what?
Toe to the leather, man.
Toe to the leather,
Ready
man.
to go.
Ready to go. Can't wait. Again, join us every Thursday right here. It's a Maiden Voyage Cool Show, co-hosted by Dave Angie and myself. It's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview coming up every Thursday right here from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Can't wait to see you on the show. Bucks, and so you have until midnight tomorrow night to get on the internet. Right here you see TomTaylorSports.com/football and enter to win $25. Raymond Tankersley of Kingsport is one of 2 weeks in a row. Here's the games you're picking. Again, we're not looking for points. We're just doing this for fun, really. So, but we do award the winner who gets the most correct wins. And again, it'll be the picking panel will be South at Elizabethton, Cherokee at Tennessee High, Cloudland at Johnson County, the Musket Bowl, Crockett and Boone, and North at Sullivan East. That's the 5 high school games you're picking. Again, no points, just who's going to win. First name, last name, where you're from, and your email address. We can get a hold of you when you win. The college, you're picking Michigan at Penn State. Who's going to win that one? Who'll win Southern Cal Notre Dame, Oklahoma State at Texas, Kentucky at Mississippi State, and the Seminoles of Florida State hosting Louisville. And that will be your 5 college picks, and the one who gets the most correct answers, or correct guesses, I guess, would be the winner of $25. Again, you see Raymond Tankersley's won it the last 2 weeks. Jerry McNeil of Elizabethton, Tony Briggs of Elizabethton, Eugene Jeffers of Greenville, Tracy Clark of Kingsport, and Brenda Byram, young lady that's snuck in there, and she deservedly won it. She had the most correct picks, and so congratulations to her. So all that again coming up until midnight tomorrow night. You have until picking those games for the picking panel for this week, the week of October 20th. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, thanks again to Ivan Sanders coming over from the Elizabethton Star talking sports with us. Did a great job. Greg Salyer's always solid job. The Major League Baseball update. Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. And again, of course, we appreciate everybody giving us a listen. Like us and share us, and we thank you ahead of time for that. The show continues to grow. We're up over 2,500 a day now, and continues to grow, and we appreciate that very much. On a show they said would never last, as we're up to show number 616. We're wrapping up. And if you're countdown to Christmas, 67 days till Christmas 2017. So we'll join you tomorrow. We'll be live at Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. Until then, for all of our guests, This is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. We'll see you tomorrow. So long, everybody, from Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City.